Good morning. Thank you for being here today with us. We're here because another young man was shot here by Patucket police, and we need answers and we need accountability. And with that, I won't start off, but I will start off with the person who needs the answers and the accountability more than anyone, and that's the young man who was shot's mother, Regina.
Hello, everyone. Hello. I'm here today because I have not been able to see my son. I have gone to the hospital several times and I'm not able to see my son. My son is a disabled individual who was shot because he had a toy gun, an orange toy gun, and he was shot because of that. I'm sure if Sebastian, who is mentally ill, knew that he was going to be shot because of playing with his gun, I'm sure he wouldn't have been out there that day. And the thing is, the police already are familiar with who he is, and they know that he's ill, and he was shot. And there were other shots besides the one that entered his shoulder. Now he's in the hospital, needing hours of surgery. He needs his mother, and I'm still not able to see him. That's why I'm here. I need to be with my son. He needs to know that he has his mother out there that cares for him, that wants to be with him. I have been struggling with him for over 10 years. I haven't had any help. When I ask for help, I get no help. So this is where it resulted to them shooting him and almost killing him. All I want is to be able to see Sebastian. This is not fair. And I also need we need to see the camera to know what went wrong that day. So we can do better in the future. This cannot continue. Please, I need help to see my son, Sebastian. Thank you.
Thank you, and I think you heard very clearly. We don't understand. Sebastian was in the hospital since Sunday. Mom has been going back every day trying to get answers, was told he's not even in the system, wasn't told where he was being held in the hospital. She knows he's in the hospital, but is being told by the Patucket police when she is called that she cannot see him. Yet we found out he wasn't charged until Wednesday. So why were they blocking family from seeing him? Knowing that he has a disability, knowing that someone who's been traumatized and shot needs to see their family, knowing that doctors, we all know, need to hear from the family to do any kind of medical procedure, especially for somebody who has a mental disability that they already know of. So we want to underscore what Mom has shared with us, is that she needs the Patucket police from stopping from seeing her child, stop blocking it, paying marshals to make sure she doesn't get in, stop it, and let her see her son. And also there has to be a different response than just shoot first and ask questions later. And we need to see the body cameras. We need to know what happened, and as Mom so beautifully stated, so we can do better in the future. And with that, I'm going to bring up Alexis Morales from Project Weber Renew.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lex Morales. I'm a resident of Patucket, Rhode Island, and also a program director at Project Weber Renew, one of Rhode Island's largest harm reduction and recovery facilities. And first of all, I just want to thank Regina for her presence here today. It takes tremendous courage and strength to stand and speak when your child has been harmed. I'm here not just as a public health advocate, but as a parent. I myself have a son who is autistic and nonverbal, and I kind of, I think myself as a parent, I worry about my son, his future, right? If he's ever pulled over by law enforcement and they don't understand, they don't have the skills or the knowledge to deal with someone with special needs, or disabilities, right? And how they will interact. If he's overwhelmed by too many lights, too much people around, he's gonna move around. They might take that as a sense of threat. And that worries me for his future. And every other parent that has a child with special needs. But that fear is real. And it's why I'm standing here today. Because there's absolutely no reason, none, why Sebastian, a young black man, known in this community as someone living with mental illness, should have been shot on sight by trained police officers simply for carrying a toy gun. Let's be clear, Sebastian was known to the Patucket police. They had interacted with him in the past, many times before. On Saturday, they were called because he pointed a toy gun at someone. Instead of de-escalating the situation, instead of showing care, Sebastian was hunted down and shot the very next morning. Is this what public safety looks like? Patucket police are supposed to protect and serve, so I ask you, who protected Sebastian? We can't ignore the facts. You're more likely to be shot by a Patucket police officer than by any other department in Rhode Island combined. That's not safety. That's not justice. That's a pattern. That's a system working exactly how it was designed to. And we also cannot ignore this truth. Racism is at the core of these shootings. Sebastian was a young black man with a disability, and in this country, in this city, that alone made him a target. There is a long and painful history of the Patucket Police Department using excessive force, particularly against black and brown residents. This is not an isolated incident. This is a continuation of that history. And now, even after this violence, Sebastian's mother, Regina, his only support, his power of attorney, has still, like she said, not been able to see her son. This is unacceptable. So today I'm not just speaking, I'm calling on you, on our community, on our leaders to stand up, not just for Regina, not just for Sebastian, for every child in our neighborhoods, for every mother and father who worries whether their child will come home, for every voice that has gone unheard but still demands justice. We don't need any more empty promises. We demand release Sebastian from police custody and drop all charges. That's the first demand. The second demand, fire Officer Thomas O'Turner and hold the department accountable. Our third demand, end police violence in Patucket. Stop criminalizing mental illness, poverty, and black and brown communities. Our fourth demand, invest in care, not cages. Fund mental health resources, affordable housing, and support for people who use drugs. This isn't just about what happened to Sebastian. It's about what keeps happening to all of us. So let's stand up for each other. Let's stand up for our children. Let's stand up for Sebastian. Because if we don't, who will? And also, I also want to plug in, we're going to have a rally at 5 p.m. here in front of the Patucket police station. So I'm going to pass out the flyers, and we're also going to drop it. Is there a site or?
It's on our Instagram too.
It's also on our Instagram, the PSL Instagram, so you can find us there and find when the next rally will be taking place. So thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Thank you. I just wanted to reiterate again what Mom had shared. She needs to see her son, and she needs those body cameras released. We need an external investigation to know what happened to her son and why she was shot and why he was shot and why the response was what it was. Shoot first and ask questions later.
Have you had any response from the police chief?
Any response from the police chief?
I came here on Monday, Tuesday morning, because I didn't hear about this until Monday night, a day and a half later. that my son was in the hospital. I didn't know why he was in the hospital. I thought it was for something else. And the doctor said, your son needs to have a surgery. I didn't even know what it was the surgery was about. It took a couple of hours to know that it was a shooting that he needed to have the surgery for. So I came here Tuesday, early morning. I met with 2 detectives and begged them to please let me see my son. And they have said no sense. It's been no sense. I've been calling and trying to be able to see my son. So those are the only 2 people I've had the opportunity to talk to in this whole police department.
What are the names of the detectives?
I forgot who they were.
Have you spoken with the mayor?
Nobody else.
No, and I want to say that's a two-way communication, right? Knowing a Patucket resident, he's a Patucket resident, was shot, possibly almost killed, that you would think the chief of police or the mayor would reach out and check on with the mom when the mom came here looking for answers, that somebody can give her some answers.
And I'm in the system. If they could have found me to tell me from the hospital, I am in the system. I'm easily found. Even you can find me on Google with all of my information. Why haven't they reached out to me to let me know what's going on? I have no answers, and that's why I'm here. I need answers, and I need to see my son. He's disabled. His only crime was holding a toy gun, an orange toy gun. And if Sebastian had known that day that he was going to be a victim, he's not a suspect, he's a victim. If he knew he was going to be a victim that day, he would not have been out there with that toy gun. He's a very good kid, very quiet, and he's not a troublemaker. That I know.
Do we have any pictures of that toy gun? I know a lot of witnesses talked about that orange color.
And I think that's why it's important for the body camera, right?
Exactly. I don't know what toy gun.
Let him find it.
When I went into his apartment, I noticed that he had bottles of bubble, the bubble you use in guns. That's all I was able to see. So apparently it must have been one of those bubble or toy guns.
So you hadn't seen the gun before? There's
No,
okay.
I have not seen any gun. But we all know it's an orange plastic toy gun.
And there were people at live videos that said who were there at the scene.
You saw those videos?
I saw them on Facebook.
Right.
Not the video of the gun, but people as they're watching saying that it was a toy gun. Again, we're still waiting to see. They went in and ransacked his apartment. They destroyed it. Mom got there to see that and know that they raided his apartment after the shooting.
Can you describe more about his condition? You said that he's mentally disabled. Can you talk about like what is his diagnosis? And
He is. He's been sick for the last 10 years. He graduated from Paul Coffey. The last year was a little difficult, but he made it through, and he was diagnosed since then for schizophrenia, bipolar, and something else. And he's been in and out of the hospital. Like I say, he's a good boy.
Yeah.
He's a quiet. He keeps to himself. He goes around here to the library to read. He reads a lot. He goes to the library and he goes to the Y to play basketball. Most of the people around here do know Sebastian. He's a very kind and giving person.
you said the police have encountered him before. Do you know much more about those encounters?
I know there was one encounter where he was brought to the station and Gateway Patucket, which serviced him. One of the social workers was here, and instead of putting him in jail that time, which was like a couple of months ago, he was brought to the hospital. So they know that he's ill. That's the thing that gets me. And why they're not letting me see him, I have no idea. You know, they know he's ill because they had an encounter with him and he was sent to the hospital. Why didn't they try to do it this time? Why didn't they try to find another way to disarm him without, shooting him? They could have killed him. I am so thankful to God that I'm standing before you today. I probably would have been another person if they had killed my son, because of course I love my son and I want the best for him. I hope they can help him. I hope they can do better than where he's been getting so far. He needs help. He needs a decent place to stay. And he needs the treatment that he deserves. He shouldn't be locked up. He shouldn't be locked up to a bed with cuffs on his hand and foot like a common animal. He's a disabled person. He's almost like a child. He needs his mother. Why am I not seeing my son? I need to see my son. I need to work with the hospital to create a treatment plan for him, as I've always done in the past. I am his advocate, and I will continue to advocate for my child. He's not just a nobody. He's my son, and he's a very important person.
Mom, what's your response to the charges? I mean, felony assault with a seemingly looking like a weapon. I mean, that's a serious charge.
It is serious. For what? For a toy, orange, plastic gun? That's too much. They know him. That's the thing that gets me. They know him. They know he's a disabled person. Why did they go to the extent of putting those kind of ridiculous charges on him? Is that what they do to disabled people now? We need answers. We definitely need answers. And we need a change.
Was Sebastian living independently at that home?
Yes, he was. But we were always involved. I was with him a few days, going shopping with him at Aldi and other supermarkets to make sure he had, his needs.
A question for the Renika. Yeah. I know you talked about how Patucket police have consistently used excessive force. Do you have numbers to back that up?
Not at this moment, no. But we definitely could get the numbers for you. Definitely. And I'm also working where I work with folks who are unhoused. I work with folks who have substance use disorder and who have history. And that place is always being over policed. So it's only a matter of time that harm is going to be caused to the people there when it's being over policed constantly. It's every day there's a police officer 3 times a day in that parking lot for an hour at least, right? So that's an everyday thing for the past 2 years. So obviously such police officers that aren't trained to work with this population of folks are gonna look at them as a threat, as they saw Sebastian as a threat, because they're not trained for this. Leave it to the professionals, leave it to the folks that are trained to support these individuals and keep them safe. So, yeah.
Gina, what do you think compelled Sebastian to do what he did?
Sebastian is ill. That's all I can say. Sebastian, like I said, if Sebastian knew that day would have been the day when he almost got killed, do you think he would have been out there with that gun, that play toy? I don't think so. He's just an ill person. It's all it is. And like I said, they know him. Even the neighbors have been talking to me. I went by the house and they were all giving me hugs and telling me they are with me, they are in prayers with me, they hope Sebastian well, and if I need anything, I can call on them. They all know him because he's a kind and giving person. So I don't know, that's all I can say, that he's an ill person. And I wish he would get well soon and get the treatment that he needs with my help. With me being involved, of course.
You said you heard from the doctor at Rhode Island Hospital. Can you say a little bit more about what the doctor told you?
Well, when they called me and they said he needs a 4-hour surgery right now, and because he's not in his, because he's ill, and I'm not there to encourage him, he is refusing. There will be a day he will say yes, and another day he said he doesn't think he needs the surgery, but he has to have the surgery because what they told me is it's a 3-layer surgery. One, they need to remove the bullet fragment. The bullet fragment. His shoulder is also dislocated, and they need to work to put the nerves and stuff together. And he may need surgery again in the future. This is just the beginning.
And so by blocking mom from that, it's delaying that health care. It's delaying that necessary surgery. So it's not only the wrongful shooting, shooting for a toy gun, to these trumped up charges that took several days to charge him with, to now delaying his surgery, which could make it worse. So mom really needs to see her son. She needs to be involved. She needs to get in there. We're asking this police department to lift that and let her son get the surgery he needs.
So he hasn't gotten that surgery yet?
No.
And you're saying that's how you found out that your son was shot, was from the call from the doctor.
Exactly.
Was the doctor looking for your permission to perform the surgery? Was that what it was about?
Yes. Because they said in the computer they saw that I'm the POA and I'm also the mom. So that's how they've been treating him in the past. Whenever he was there, they would call me because I'm the POA. It is in the records. I'm in the records. So if the doctor could find me, I'm sure the police people that shot my son could have at least reached out to me out of courtesy.
But
Nothing.
But actually the police had them, when she called after, said he's not there. But she knew he was there because she got this initial call. So then
I kept
denied
pushing.
her access and told the hospital not to let her know he's there.
They do things like this all the time too. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's very
As
common.
power of attorney, I'm not familiar with the rules, are you entitled to be with your son legally as a power of attorney?
Exactly. As a power of attorney, I'm supposed to be a part of his treatment and his financial and his daily care. So
Also,
all of the agencies I worked with in the past, because he was in Providence, working with the Providence at the Providence Center, they know that he has a POA, and I'm always involved in his treatment plan.
What's your reaction to that officer being placed on leave?
I don't know what was going on with him that day when he just shot like that, besides shooting Sebastian, just other shots. I just think something is wrong somewhere. He really needs to be investigated. I'm not saying he should get fired, but he does need to be investigated.
have you had a chance to speak with Sebastian's attorney? I'm assuming he's been assigned to somebody at this point.
No, he doesn't have an attorney yet.
If you were in if you were in that officer's shoes, what would you have done to de-escalate the situation?
You mean on the day of the shooting? I'm hoping they would have done something else. They could have gone behind Sebastian, and disarmed him. They could have found many other ways to de-escalate besides, firing into his arm. Like I said, they could have easily killed Sebastian. I'm still grateful to God that he's alive, because I'm a woman of very deep faith. If it wasn't for the prayers, every day, I lift my son up to God. He probably wouldn't be here today.
Regina, you said you found some things in his apartment that looked like they might have been related to the toy gun. Are you talking about like Nerf things? Like what exactly did you find?
I just the bubble thing. He had two bottles of bubble that you put in gun to make bubbles.
Oh, so like a water pistol?
I think that's what it might have been.
Okay.
Because he had two bottles of the water liquid that make bubbles.
Okay. Thank you. Please.
Could you spell your full name for the record, please?
Oh, my name is Regina Socree. They spell Regina. The last name is spelled Socree. Thank you.
SORCEE.
Socree. Socree. Regina.
Thank you for being here today.
Thank you too. I thank you all. I hope this will be able to help Sebastian and others in that situation, especially the disability part. Thank you.